Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing amazing today. Before we begin, I'd just like to remind everyone that YouTube is the only platform that I use. If you do see me on another platform or you are being asked for donations of any kind, please do not respond and report that video because that isn't me. Okay, I don't even ask for donations here, so just be aware I don't want you to get scammed. And the reason why I bring it up, and it will tie into the rest of today's message, is because, unfortunately, an ex that I had, this is going 6 years back that we've been broken up, and he has gotten, unfortunately, with a new person 6 years ago, precisely, an interloper. But again, that's not my problem. I wish them no ill will. But they are uh, working with a group of individuals who have been messing with this channel, and they think that I'm unaware of that. So I just want to make sure that nobody is getting scammed. Okay. So please, please, please be very cautious. I will never ask you for a donation. And if I ever do in the future, you will know it's from me. Okay. And it'll probably be on this platform. But as of this point, that's not happening right now. Okay. Right now, I'm just here to get messages out there. Okay. And this partially ties into today's message from Source. Okay. Source wants you to know that no, you're not crazy. You're not losing your mind. Okay, you are feeling the way you're feeling. I'm speaking to individuals who are on a current spiritual path of growing. You're growing deeper into your spirituality and you're wondering, am I on the right path? Am I doing the correct thing? Yes, you are. Keep following your intuition. And I get this because before I started doing this, okay, which is something like I said, mentioned many times earlier, I never wanted to do anything like this. I've never saw myself doing anything like this. I have no desire to be famous in any way. But I do have a desire to want to spread love and help the planet and help people grow spiritually and help to set them on the correct path and let them know that they're not crazy. Okay. And if you're getting the feeling deep within yourself to do something, I encourage you to do it. Whatever it is that, Source is inspiring you to do, the divine realms, whatever you're being inspired to do, go ahead and do it. This is your response. This is your answer. Okay. So feel free to move forward. You're not crazy. You're not insane. You're not hearing things. I've questioned myself several times on this and thinking, am I truly getting this inspiration from the divine? I prayed on it and meditated on it. And I've received so many confirmations, letting me know that yes, I am on the correct path. I am doing the right thing. I'm not crazy. I'm not sensing things. I've always been psychic since I was a child and I didn't understand it. I've been under spiritual attack since I was a child and I didn't understand it. And I've learned, unfortunately, at 54 years old, I've learned that these are things that happen to people like me, people who have been set aside for a specific mission. That doesn't mean I'm any more special than anyone else. I don't feel that way. Okay. I just want to help society awaken to the realities of what's going on out there. Okay. So, how does that tie into today's message? Okay. Today's message is that evil does exist, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay. Evil forces are out there, and I've struggled with this my entire life. I didn't want to believe that so many people were so inherently evil. Okay. I didn't understand, but as I'm growing in my spirituality, I'm learning to understand why these people do what they do. Many of them, unfortunately, are targeted. Okay. And I've mentioned this before, they're called archons, controllers, whatever it is you want to call them. These spiritual beings, okay, as crazy as it sounds, okay, have control over the planet, okay? And what their job is to keep people in an endless cycle of reincarnation, keep you enslaved. Now, how does that work? They select specific people, okay? Oftentimes, they're government officials, they're religious organizations, okay? They gather people of a certain clout, okay, or people who desire to have clout and money, and they promise them that if they're able to deceive and lie to the populace to keep the people in an endless cycle of reincarnation, that they will be supplied with riches and fame and all the things they were looking for. Okay, now they do get it because that's their job. Unfortunately, they work on individuals in so many ways. Like I said, through the church pulpit. Now, this doesn't mean all churches. But many, especially the more prominent religious organizations, you could see how they control people's minds. Okay, and what they speak is the opposite of what they preach. Okay, their behaviors don't match, and this is the indication that something is wrong. When they're telling you to hate another person or dislike another religion or demonize people for their sexuality, their race, their sex, whatever, this is not from goodness. It's not. Okay, I know I've spoken about this before, but it bears mentioning again. Okay, to awaken people. Okay, you can see currently what's happening in the United States, how people are being used, political figures. Okay, people in positions of authority. Okay, people in the justice system. They're all being used. Okay, whether willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, they're being used. They're being used to try to incarcerate, okay, and malign those who are trying to speak the truth, and they're going to try to stop them in any way. So people like myself, people like the good reporters who want you to know the truth, okay? We're not talking about the corporate media reporters who, again, the heads of those corporate medias are all being controlled, okay? They actually fire people when they speak the truth, which is the exact opposite of what the news is supposed to be. The news is supposed to be about facts. But they do a great job at deceiving everyone. And how do they do this? They use social media. Okay? They distract you. They distract you with nonsense. They place out commercials. YouTube is great for that. And again, shame on YouTube for doing it. Okay? They promote propaganda. I've seen a few commercials. They don't last very long. There was one where ICE was recruiting people. So I guess we're just recruiting anyone for ICE. Any mofo off the street could become a part of ICE. Okay, no training, no nothing. You don't have to have a psychological background. You're not being vetted. Oh, we just want you. If you want to have a gun in your hand and try to intimidate people, we want you. We want you to do that job. Now, how did we get here? We got here because of hatred. The hatred that was indoctrinated into so many people through religious organizations, through the older generations, through the people who want you to remain enslaved, to work for them, the top 1%. As you can see, they promised so many people riches and glory. Vote for me. I'm going to make life better for you. And all they did was make life better for themselves and the people like them. So look at where you are now. And this is not about politics. This is about what's going on. This is a spiritual warfare that's going on. And what is it designed to do? To make you feel useless, unsafe, insecure, and weak. Okay? They want to weaken you financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, because weak people don't fight. They just continue on the treadmill. They continue to be the slave. How many people allowed themselves to be enslaved when the cell phones first came out, that a job wanted to have access to you 24/7, above the 40 hours a week that you signed up for? And people allowed it. Why did they allow it? Because of the promise of more money. I'll give you more money if you do it. And now it got to a point that every job out there wants you to be available to them as if though they own you 24/7. Okay? Now, these are facts. You can check them for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Okay? But I'm one of the people who is telling the truth. Okay? And they don't want people like me telling the truth, but I'm not going to stop. And that includes the group who has been trying to get other people to work against me and this channel, preventing these messages from getting out. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. And for those of you who are involved in this group, okay, who have been misled, you've been misled by a person who I knew personally, okay, who used to idolize serial killers, okay, who said that Charles Manson was innocent because he didn't do anything. He sent other people to do it. This is how his mind works. Because when the shit falls and it hits the fan, you're going to get the blame, and he's going to say, I didn't tell you to, I didn't do it. You did it by yourself. He's great for that. Okay. And if you don't believe me, you'll find out in time. I mean, it's happening to you now. Look at what's happening. I've been trying, been avoiding contact with this person who has been constantly trying to reach my family under the fake phone numbers. I don't know how he used to do it, but he used to do something online where he was able to get phone numbers that didn't belong to him. and they look like they're coming from everywhere. Okay, I'm aware. I know who those phone numbers are, and I'm not going to pick up the phone. I want nothing to do with you and for your current whatever that thing is that you're married to. I don't want your man. Trust me. Okay. I had that. Been there, done that. You played a stupid game and you won a stupid prize. So now enjoy each other. He was looking for the lifestyles of the rich and famous. You were able to provide that. And that's all you were to him, because that's all he was interested in. Those things don't impress me. I don't need money. I don't need riches. I don't care about that. I care about happiness, peace on earth, and spreading love and hopefully educating people, opening their eyes to see the truth of what's going on. That's what my purpose is here. Okay. I don't need to tell you who I am. Those of you who know, if you know, you know. I don't feel like I have to brag about who I am because I don't see myself above anyone. But I have been assigned to perform a specific duty, and I am heavily spiritually protected from my ancestors, from an entire arsenal from the divine realms. Okay, so anyone who thinks they're going to play all that black magic that you sent towards me, it didn't work. I'm still here. I don't think I couldn't sense it because I did. Okay, I don't scare easy. Okay, I'm a very simple individual. I'm a kid that grew up in the Bronx. Okay, I did not have a lot of money growing up, and I saw how money destroyed my entire family. I saw it. I saw how as they became rich, okay, my family was immigrants, okay, I am first generation, but I've noticed how money and how they were so easily manipulated, okay, by the darker realms to place money over everything. And they have millions, many people in my family, and it doesn't impress me. And I don't say that to impress, but I want nothing to do with them because I just don't align with that. I don't align with greed. I don't align with hatred. I don't align with, being around people that I can't trust. Okay. And unfortunately, so many of you are in a situation where you can't trust the people you're with. And guess what? Like I said, when the shit hits the fan, okay, you're all going to turn on each other. And then you're going to turn on the two leaders because your life is going to start to fall apart and you're probably already noticing it. Okay. And I'm sorry. I feel bad for you, but this is your karma. Okay. So, anyone from my past, and this includes past friends who might be involved with this, don't come to me with any apology. I'm not interested. Okay. Our life, our time in life is over, finished, done. And I don't look backwards. I'm looking forward to a future of happiness, of finding a beautiful soul tribe that I know is out there waiting for me. That's what I'm interested in. And nobody is going to take that from me. And that is protected. Okay, it is spiritually protected. So anyone who thinks that they're going to try to mess with that, okay, or prevent other people who might need to hear this message from getting out, it's not going to work. Okay, because the more you do, the worse it's going to be for you karmically. And until you get that in your head, you're going to continue to fall down. You're going to continue to cry, and you're going to cry. Okay, I mean, not only for the things that you did to me, which were horrible enough, that I overcame, okay, and that my faith got me there, okay, not only things you did to me but what you did to other people, okay, because I'm not the only victim out there. There's a list full that I can mention, and as I said before, if anything happens to me or my family, all your names, first and last names, are written on a piece of paper that will go directly to the authorities. Trust me on that. I can promise you, okay, and I have no qualms about doing that. So if you're thinking about playing any tricks, you better really think about what you're doing, because not only will you be, again, you might think you have connections and in the world. Guess what? It don't mean shit, because God's watching everything, and you are being watched. Okay, you are being watched. Okay, where do you think I get the information from? Doesn't come from out of my ass like most of you people do. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not a liar. And if those who want to believe that I'm a liar and a bad person, be my guest. I have nothing to prove, okay? Those who know me know who I am. And my circle is very tight, okay? I don't need to be around other people. I don't need admiration from people, okay? And anything that I need comes from the divine realms. That's my self respect and my ability to do the work that I'm doing, okay? Even in the face of all this adversity that I'm facing and the challenges, okay, that have being directly sent towards me. I had a dream last night, for instance. And I feel that it might be some type of a spiritual attack being sent, okay, where I was being told that, okay, they were trying to discourage me from doing this work. It's not going to work. It's not. I'm going to keep doing the work. So whoever tried to send that demon into my dream, okay, disguised as a caring person, I'm wise to it. Okay. Again, I am heavily spiritually protected. Okay. And for those of you who know, you know. And if you want to believe it, you believe it. If you want to think it's crazy, go right ahead. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. I used to feel that way years ago. I didn't want to look at the movie The Matrix. Okay. And I still never looked at the whole thing. I understand what it's about now, but I understand also why it freaked me out because I didn't want to believe that such a thing could be true. Okay. I just didn't want to believe it. And when I was in high school, and they were forcing us to read books like 1984 and Soylent Green, I didn't understand what were the purposes of these books. I now understand that those authors were actually prophets, okay, including the person who wrote The Handmaid's Tale. These were prophets in disguise, warning us of the future catastrophes that could take place if we don't wake up and begin to see reality for what it is. And if you still want to, not believe it, just look around you, look at what's going on, look at what's happening in our country, look at how divided we've all become. They learned how to divide and conquer through any means necessary for them to maintain power. They're going to continue until we wisen up and start to realize we're not the enemy. Okay, we should not be fighting each other. We should be helping each other, raising each other, loving each other, and we should all be standing up as one in unison, in a spiritual unison, because that's where the real power is from. It's in spirituality, it's in faith, it's in belief of a higher power that's above us, because we're nothing in this world, nothing. Okay, there's one great creator and many beings that assist this great creator. Many of them, they were all sent one by one and all rejected. Jesus being the most recent, who was sent and rejected by people, and now people want Jesus to come back. Jesus is not coming back. You had your chance with that. Okay? So, in God's infinite wisdom, He is now sending out regular people like myself, okay, to hopefully awaken everyone. This is the opportunity. What will you do now with it? Okay? Will you choose to live in the fantasy that evil doesn't exist and that that science fiction is science fiction? I wanted to believe that too. Believe me, I didn't want to believe in those things. I didn't. But as I've grown spiritually, I realized where my abilities came from. I realized why I've been attacked spiritually since I was a child, and I'm still being attacked by everything and anything. If I told people the things that happened in my life, they would think that I was telling a lie, and all of it is true. And I don't feel the need to share it. But I do say it with the fact to let you know that I understand anything that you might be going through because I've been there and done it, and I can actually really say that with all honesty. I've been through everything that any human being could possibly get through, and I'm still here. I should be in a nut house somewhere, okay? I should be 6 feet under, but I'm not. I'm here, and I'm here for a purpose for those with ears to hear and eyes to see. And everyone is not going to understand this, and that's okay. There's no judgment, okay? Unfortunately, you will continue to remain in an endless cycle of reincarnation. If that's what you choose, that's fine, okay? Personally, I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for people I care about. But I'm starting to realize I can't even help many that I care about because they're so unwilling to see the truth. And that's sad because this all began from an indoctrinated tactic that has been used for centuries on people, and it's worked wonderfully. Okay. And what is that tactic? Hatred, divide, and conquer. And they do a great job at it. They'll convince you. There's many false prophets out there that will convince you that Jesus is coming tomorrow. It's not happening. You had your chance with Jesus. Now is your chance to create Christ consciousness on earth if that's what you're looking for. Okay? And I truly feel that with all my heart, there is not going to be a second coming. The second coming is actual the changing of people's minds and hearts, and actually living the way that Jesus did, non-judgmentally, loving, caring for everyone, regardless of who they were. We're not here to judge anyone. That's God's job. It's not our job. It's not our business. We're also not here to decide life and death. That's God's business as well. So people who go out there and do black magic and death spells upon people, and yeah, that's happened to me numerous times. Okay. And I was protected yet again. And the more that happens, especially to people like me, it's going to return to you and yours, unfortunately. And it's not because I'm doing black magic, because I don't practice that shit. I don't need to, first of all. Okay. I'm just protected. And just knowing that alone is all I have to do. And then, God and the angels and my ancestors, they take care of the rest. Okay. I'm nice. My ancestors are not. Okay. And they don't play. So continue down your path, continue listening to the master, especially the two ringleaders, because they're going to drag you right down with them. And guess what? When you get caught first, they're going to act like they don't know you. Okay? That's just a promise. It's just that's a prophetic word for you. Okay? They're going to act as if though they don't know you. And they're all going to turn and pin the blame onto you, the weakest link. And you involved yourself with this for what? For promises of money and fame. I actually feel sorry for you, okay? And I forgive you for what you did. You might have been confused, you might have been under a spell, but you're an adult, okay? And like I've said prior, get out now and take the karma that you already created for yourself and save yourself, because when the big karma starts to hit and you're still involved, unfortunately, you're going to sink with the ship, okay? And that's for anyone out there, not just myself. So for whatever group, whatever people who are listening to, and I have many people who don't even have the guts to have their face on their profile that follow me. So I know a lot of them are false profiles or people that would set up, okay, to monitor me. I'm aware of everything, okay? I don't have to speak about it much, and I don't want to waste my time or give you any of my energy, but I'm just letting you know that I'm aware. And I'm letting the other people who feel like they're crazy and nuts, that they might be going through the same thing, that they're not, that these things do exist and you're able to covertly hide yourselves. But the masks are going to fall off and God is going to be removing them. The time is here, okay? We are in a new cycle and it's time for justice to be served upon everyone, okay? And that includes me if I did anything. I take responsibility for anything I might have done in life. I've made mistakes here or there, but they were never evil mistakes. They were never intentionally done to anyone like was done to me. And yet, I will still not lower my vibrational standing to send black magic or curse any of you. And don't think that I can't do it, because I could if I wanted to. I just don't. Because I know that is not how spiritual law works. And maybe you need to look that up. Look up universal spiritual law and realize that what you're doing is going to return to you. Okay? And if it doesn't hit you, it's going to hit your loved ones, but it will affect you somehow, unfortunately. So, like I said, take your lumps now with the karma and do your best to make a penance and turn yourself around. I can't help you. And even if you want to come and apologize to me, I don't want it. Okay? I made closure for myself years ago, and anything from my past, whether you be family, friends, whoever you are cut off and done with. Okay? And I encourage everyone else who's going through the same thing. Let them go. Go forward in happiness. Release that load. Okay? Enlighten yourself in many ways, spiritually, physically, emotionally. Drop that baggage because you don't need it. We don't need it. And if we stick together and we focus on creating a better world and doing what's good and what's right, we'll get through this. And in the end, remember, the most powerful things out there are love and truth. And both are going to come out. And that's right around the corner. And that's when Christ consciousness will finally return, when the truth is finally revealed and people wake up. Okay, we're going to leave you at that. I'm sorry it went a little long today, but I was being encouraged to speak about this today, and I hope that this finds the right people. And I apologize that it doesn't get circulated, but what you can do to help this get circulated is to like the video, okay? And not because I need the like, because that's not important to me. What's important to me is that the message gets to somebody who needs to reach it, okay? And unfortunately, we live in a world of algorithms and numbers, and it's all designed to, again, keep things down, things that they don't want you to see. But the stuff that they do want you to see, like the violence and the lies and the bullshit, that gets spread around like crazy, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality we're living in right now. Okay? So again, I want to give you all my blessings, blessings to your loved ones. I want to thank you and express my gratitude to my real subscribers. Okay? And I want to wish you a wonderful day, night, whenever you're receiving this. Take care.